guys, and welcome back to my craft room. Today I have a very easy basic sewing project for you that I think you're going to find pretty handy for this summer. So if you like to be out and about in the summer, you know how important it is to stay hydrated. This past week already we've had a high heat advisory, and although you should be drinking lots of water all summer long, it's especially important when the temperatures get into that 30-degree range and humidity for you to be hydrating. So, but carrying a bottle of water isn't always practical. A lot of purses are too small to fit one inside. Sometimes you want to go for a walk. You don't necessarily want to walk with a bottle of water in your hand. So today I'm going to show you how to make a little O-ring strap so that you can carry your bottle of water either by the handle, or you can use a carabiner clip once you are done and clip it to your purse, or maybe you have a detachable purse strap that you can just take off and slide through here. In any event, I'm going to show you how to make this using some very basic ingredients. So take this one off, keep our bottle handy. This is just full of water. I don't actually buy bottles of water in plastic bottles. I have other bottles upstairs. This was just a pop bottle I rescued from recycling for the purposes of this tutorial. So what are you going to need? Well, you're going to need a piece of cotton fabric. This is 18 inches long, 3 inches wide. Okay. You'll need a piece of ribbon. Doesn't matter any color, any wide, like a 1/2 inch wide, I would think would be easiest, but really doesn't matter. And it should be probably about 36 inches long for this. You're also going to need a safety pin and a sewing machine. Now, I suppose you could probably do this by hand, but I just feel like you get a much stronger stitch if you're using a sewing machine. In any event, no pins, no measuring once you've got your fabric cut. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to fold our fabric so that the two right sides are together. Okay. And again, we're not going to pin this. This is a quick and dirty sewing project. We're not going to pin it. We're just going to kind of hold it in place as we feed it through our sewing machine. And we're going to just run a stitch right along this where the two edges meet. Okay, so again, it doesn't matter what color thread you use particularly. If you don't care, it doesn't matter. Match your fabric or don't. Let me just get my presser foot down here. Okay. I always like to back stitch a little at the beginning. And then again, just feed your fabric through, holding it together so that those edges line up. You know, take it nice and slow. This is where you'll find out if you've cut your fabric straight in the first place. All right, keeping my edges lined up here. Oops. Okay. There we are. So what you have is this long tube with the right sides together. I'm just going to trim off some of this excess thread here. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, but how are we going to get this turned right side out? Because you know darn well if you try sticking your finger in here, it's going to take you forever. This is where your ribbon and your safety pin come in handy. Take a big safety pin, preferably a big safety pin. I suppose a smaller one would work, but it's easier to grab. Feed it through the end, like stick your ribbon on it, close it up, and then use it, feed that pin through your long tube. I had to figure out how to do this morning because when I was trying to engineer that little handle, I thought, now how am I going to get that turned right side out? Okay, so you've got your ribbon. This is why you need the extra length. You want to make sure that your ribbon doesn't end up inside here, or it's really no good to you at all. So you've got your ribbon on the other side, and what you're going to do, oops, here, I just need to adjust here a little bit. You're going to actually now put your pin through your little tube of fabric. There we go. So now your ribbon is pinned, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull in reverse. Ta-da! Right side out. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So now you're done with your ribbon. Your ribbon serves no more point. So at this point, you could press your little strap if you want, but we are working on time here, so we're not going to do that. Where did I put my little elastic that goes with it? There we go. Hair elastic. So I hope I mentioned the hair elastic at the beginning in the instructions. I'm not sure if I did, but you will need also a hair elastic. This one's a little thicker. It's pretty stiff, and you're going to be doubling it when you go to use it. So I would not go for one of like the little thin ones, but you definitely want a covered elastic, and you want it to be fairly tight and stiff. So what you're going to do is you're going to double your elastic. Okay, so you're essentially making like a little O-ring, basically. And you're going to take your your little tube, and you're going to fold it over so your seam side here, which is the center, is now against the seam side, okay? So you're trying to make something that looks like this. And then on the underside here, so on the side where you can see your seam, you're going to stitch in two places. You're going to stitch with your machine right here, right by the little loop, and then you're going to stitch up here again just to make it pretty and strong too, so some durability. And I like to back stitch here several times because you can go back and forth many, many times. You want it to be good and strong because actually, you know, a water bottle is a surprisingly heavy when it's full. Surprisingly heavy. You want those little elastics to be able to support it. Same thing now. I've stitched once. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, trim off the ugly threads. So here's what you've got so far, okay? So you've got your little doubled elastic down here, you've got your seam side here, and then you've got your fabric stitched twice, okay? So now we're gonna connect it all together. Okay, we're gonna connect everything all together. So you're gonna take your side of your other end of your fabric, and you're gonna feed it through those doubled elastics again, okay? And you're just going to do the same thing, but you want to make sure when you are stitching it, you want to make sure that your raw edges that you're stitching are on the same side as the other ones. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if they're not. This is quick and dirty sewing project. This is not, you know, you're not being graded on this for home economics. So, but it just makes it a little bit nicer if you look like you know what you're doing if they're both on the same side. And again, back and forth several times. Okay. Loose threads. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. We're going to stitch now, stitch this little tail down essentially, just for aesthetics, probably more so than strength, but okay. Okay, there we go. Now, so here's what you end up with, okay? This is your little, this is the front side. You can see black thread. I don't care. Now you've got your water bottle and your elastics. You simply snap it on. Whoops, I put it on backwards. Put your raw sides in here, really. There we go. And there you have it, a little handle that you can carry. Makes it much easier to carry on a walk if you're out, or like I say, if you have a carabiner, or you can slide your purse straps through it. You know, hang it in your car, but don't leave it in your car. It's not good to leave plastic bottles with water in your car and then proceed to drink those. Don't do that. But anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this little quick and dirty sewing tutorial, and let me know if you try it and if you make it work. Take care. Bye.